After a 9-1 Jayhawk romping of the Nebraska Cornhuskers last night, the Jayhawks are looking to find their second season series sweep of the 2025-2026 campaign. Welcome inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk, everybody in Overland Park, Kansas. Another rainy and chilly day here in the Kansas City Metro. I am Ryan Cartman bringing you game 2 of this Matcha Silver West matchup between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and your Kansas Jayhawks. As we look at the starting lines right now for both of these teams, we'll start with KU. Different starting line. A lot of scratches for Andy McConnell's club, and frankly, a lot of number changes too, so beg your pardon if I have trouble finding these numbers this afternoon. But Rowan Vaughn, Hudson Huber, Danny Callaghan, that second line from last night, getting to start tonight, or this afternoon. Starting defense for the Jayhawks stays the same, Zach Roberts and Blake Hearn. And starting goaltender for the Jayhawks tonight is Ben Olsen. First time we've seen him in action since earlier this month, first weekend of October. That Saturday game the Jayhawks dropped to Creighton. It was a 7-1 loss in that Saturday game. And for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, it is a different starting line as well. It's going to be Shane Rothenberger on that starting line as center, along with Caleb Seibel, the captain on the left wing, the lone goal scorer last night for Nebraska. And on the right wing, it's going to be number 21, Steven Adamski. We'll take a pause for the national anthem. Back here after that rendition of our national anthem. Starting on defense for the Huskers, it's going to be Caleb Coe and Tyler Mapes. Mapes, of course, out of Austin, Texas. And starting goaltender this afternoon for the Huskers, it is going to be Liam Scott. Coach Nate Fuller going back to Scott after getting pulled midway through the second in last night's game. Back up tonight is going to be Caden Quinn. Scratch is Grant Meyer. Grant Meyer, of course, came in to finish up the back half of the game for Nebraska last night. Well, speaking with head coach Andy McConnell before the game, excuse me, there's had a lights came on bright now and a audio problem there from our PA system. But speaking to Andy McConnell before the game, liked how the team played last night. Of course, penalties got to stay out of the box. That's the thing that me and Daniel Schmidt talked about. And we'll see if penalties kill the Jayhawks this afternoon or if they can overcome that. We're ready to drop the puck. Game 2 of this Matcha Silver West rivalry starts now. Playing it back, that is Coe with it. Coe feeds up along the near boards. Hearn gets it for the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks try to move up the ice. Headman pass from Hearn, trying to find Callaghan. They can't connect. Near boards now, this puck is. Hearn shot on, kicks pad save by Scott. Puck along the far boards now. Zach Roberts with it. Roberts wearing the captain to see for Jayhawks today. Here come the Nebraska Huskers now. This is Rothenberger. Rothenberger tried to center ice it there for Seibel, but it went off Seibel's stick and into the boards. Shot there by Adamski off of Olsen into the boards. Shot there off the skate of Hearn and picked up behind the net by the Jayhawks. This is Huber with it. Huber finds Callaghan. Jayhawks enter the zone. Callaghan trying to dump it back to Vaughn. Ugly tape-to-tape passing there for KU as it's Nebraska now with it. Beaster along the near boards. Tries to feed it down to Clover. He can't. The Jayhawks come another way. Headman off the stick of a Jayhawk right there. Puck finds its way behind the net of Scott. Corner boards now. That is Zadakis with it. Zadakis behind the red line, the defenseman for the Jayhawks. He'll work his way back to the blue line now. Near dot, this is Ives trying to get control of that puck. Now Breyer tries to poke it free. Shot, Wasmith up and in the netting. Will reverse stoppage of the afternoon. That was Huber with that shot up into the netting. Minute 31 has expired in the first. Faceoff coming to the right of Scott, picked up by the Huskers. That's Del Sante with it. Del Sante tries to feed it up to Lazari. They couldn't connect, so this puck will go all the way down, and it'll be an icing against Nebraska. As we look at the stats for Ben Olsen this year, the Jayhawk netminder, it has been a good season for him so far. 3-2-0 on the year, 3.40 goals against, 919 save percentage right there, 919. But more improved year than it was for him last year. Of course, the junior now, Ben Olsen is. See that experience coming for him as an upperclassman. Face off to the left of Scott, won by the Jayhawks initially, now picked up by Nebraska. Behind the net, this is Bullard. Now it's Ives. Ives carries a backhand shot, goes wide of the net of Scott. Ives back down to Bullard. Bullard pushed off there by Quevedo. Nice play by the Cornhusker forward. And this puck goes up and into the netting. It's out of play. Stoppage at 17:48 in the first. Face off to left of Scott, won by KU as this puck finds its way into the near boards. That's Landis with this. He cycles it around for Ives. It's the second line for the Jayhawks. Bullard now trying to keep it in. He can't, as it's going to be delayed offsides against the Jayhawks, and he'll be forced to touch up in neutral ice. This is Cass with it on his stick. Cass, the freshman defenseman out of Glendale, Wisconsin for Nebraska. Puck wrapped around the boards by KU, and it's going to go down the length of the ice, and it should be enough for an icing. It is. 17:03 to go in this first period. Both teams so far trying to find their footing, you can tell, in this first period. Jayhawks, of course, last night scored not even a minute into the game, as they're just trying to get their feet under them. 2 shots on goal for KU, 1 shot on goal for Nebraska. This face-up will come out to the right of the net of Ben Olsen. Won by Adamski. Puck flutters its way into neutral ice, picked up, though, by Rothenberg. Rothenberg down the left wing side now. Bottom of the circle, shot on, save by Olsen. Ben Olsen there covering up. And his face-off will come out to his right side. Face-off to the right of Ben, won by Nebraska. That's Rothenberg. Rothenberg feeds it over to Coe. Coe loses control as here come the Jayhawks. That is DeZulo with it. Riley DeZulo trying to find Blake Hearn in the low slot. He can't. Behind the net now, nobody home for the Jayhawks on the doorstep, so feeding that puck out of harm's way was Adamski. Along the near boards now, this is Seibel with it. Seibel tries to headman it up, but it's intercepted first by KU. Puck gets fed down by the Jayhawks, and it's going to be an icing against Kansas. Face-off will come in front of the net of Ben Olsen. So yeah, folks, as I was saying, of course, KU K-State football game today. Find yourself, a lot of people, a lot of scratches as well for the Jayhawks. A lot of late number changes as well. So try to remember who is who. First couple lines numbers stay the same, but after that it gets a lot wonky. Shot there by Del Sante, kicked aside by Olsen. Behind the net now, this puck is trying for a wraparound there. Was Nebraska. Jayhawks going to try to get it out. They can't, though. Nice job. Able to keep it in there was Nebraska, but they're going to call a hand pass against Grayson Boyd. Grayson Boyd tried to keep that puck in. Ref deems he threw that one a little too much. Just over 4 minutes have expired in the first period. Faced off won by KU. Now they have it in neutral ice. Streaking up the ice. That is... Trying to find numbers here as fast as I can, folks. That is Riley Osberg. Osberg to... Man, trying to find these numbers. Shot on. Post. Hits the post to the right side of Liam Scott. Rebound opportunity there, potentially, for the Jayhawks, but nobody home. Roberts now far corner with it. Again, wearing to see for the Jayhawks. Brett Siddons, the regular captain for KU, not here for this game. So for the Jayhawks, number 5 is Riley Osberg today. Usually it's Malcolm Johnson. Was about ready to say Malcolm, but of course it's Riley. So again, just a lot of those number changes in play for the Jayhawks today. As that puck is shoveled down the ice by Blake Kern. And yet again, it's going to be a nice thing for the Jayhawks. We'll do it all over again. So Jayhawks going to have some tired legs on the ice after back-to-back icings. Nebraska didn't opt for a line change there. I think they'll, looks like, just from the looks of things, they'll opt for a line change soon, though. Nebraska will. Cass now in neutral ice, feeds it up along the boards. Zach Roberts picks it up. Hearn down neutral ice, and it's stopped there by Cass as he'll headman it up. Shot by Quevedo, goes wide of the net, got spun around too by a Jayhawk. That puck played down with a high stick, I thought, by Colby Butts, but the linesman deemed it otherwise. Near side now, Rowan Vaughn tries to lift the stick at Quevedo. He's able to dump it, though, back to Butts. Neutral ice, Jayhawks will send this one around the boards of Zach Zadakis. Quevedo picks it up. Now Cass. Picking that puck up, though, off the stick of Cass was Huber. Huber tries to feed it behind the net to Callaghan. Callaghan, the big 6'4" freshman out of Illinois for the Jayhawks. And, boy, his size really does play on the ice. Just over 14 minutes to go here in the first period. Ben Olsen lets that one sit behind his net as here come the Jayhawks on the rush. Getting through one there is Huber. Huber tries to work around the left wing side on another. He does. Shot in front. Saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity. Backhand opportunity there by Vaughn. Nobody can find it to go home behind the net of Liam Scott. Nice job by the netminder for Nebraska. Puck at the point now. Shot on. Deflected almost in front of the net of Liam Scott. But he's able to cover that one up for a nice save. As will be a stoppage here. 13:44 to go in the first. Face-off will come out to the left of Scott. Looked to be won by the Jayhawks, but Nebraska ends up taking possession of it. Near boards now, Seibel along the glass. Along the half wall, this puck is played. Shot on front of the net. George Bullard trying to pick it up for KU, but he couldn't. Seibel lost it at his feet for a second. Rothenberg, though, said, "Don't mind me, I'll pick that up," but he gets that into neutral ice. This puck now finds its way in front of the net of Liam Scott as he plays it behind the net. Nebraska trying to clear, they do, and it's going to be delayed offsides against KU. It was George Bullard touching that puck. I think just instincts kicking there. You see that puck, you want to put a stick on it, but indeed it's going to be delayed offsides. As face-off will come to center ice. Jayhawks second line out right now as it's the second line for Nebraska as well. Cross-ice pass there. Harry Ives tried to reach out with his right hand to grab that puck. He couldn't. Big hit there put on by Nebraska. As here come the Huskers the other way. It's an odd man rush for them. Instead, they'll dump it in. Ben Olsen plays with his right pad and will send that one into the far corner. Seibel now the lone goal scorer last night, the captain for Nebraska. Near boards this puck is played. That's Rothenberg. Rothenberg, big hit that are put on by the Jayhawks. This puck now is in the far corner. Seibel trying to go to work. He has it on his stick. Backhands it into the high slot. Nebraska couldn't get their stick on it, though, as the Jayhawks look to exit and enter the Nebraska zone. Puck floated in near board. It's going to be a full line change for the Jayhawks. Nice job by KU to get that one off. Liam Scott will leave it behind his net for the Huskers. That one's backhanded in the near corner. Center ice playing it there is Beaster. Far boards now. This puck circles around on the stanchion. Behind the net there for the Jayhawks is Kyle Mead. Scooping that up now is Ben DeZillo, excuse me. High slot there, opportunity. Shot on by Hearn. Goes behind the net of Liam Scott. A lot of chaos right now in the crease of the netminder. Nebraska's trying to poke it out. They do, and they're going to have a 2-on-0 opportunity. Trying to headman it there to Beaster. That was Christian Clover trying to find Beaster, but he couldn't. It was an easy 2-on-0 opportunity for Nebraska, but just sloppy passing there for the Cornhuskers. Puck in front of the net of Ben Olsen goes in the near corner now. Long near board. This is Cash picking it up. Cash tries to find Beaster. Beaster backhands it on net. Puck loose in front of the net of Olsen, and Nebraska cashes it in. The Cornhuskers start the scoring early, courtesy of some chaos in front of the net of Ben Olsen, sinking that one in there. It was Jawan Kim, the sophomore out of Seoul, South Korea, getting his third goal of the season. So it's the same story again for KU, coming out slow on the back-to-back Saturday games, as Nebraska will take the early lead up 1-0. Face off at center ice. Won by the Jayhawks as they dump it behind the net. They go to work on the forecheck. Nebraska gets to it first, though. This is Lazari with the puck on the stick. Excuse me. That's Shanahan now trying to dump it in, but the Jayhawks intercept in their own defensive zone. Nice job keeping it in there was the Nebraska forward. That was Quevedo. Jayhawks try to exit now. A little physicalness right there, physicality and neutral ice as both teams vie for possession. That was Caleb Coe fighting off some shoves there by the Jayhawks. Nice job by the sophomore out of Nebraska, out of Omaha. Near boards now, trying to cycle this puck around the Jayhawks as they try to exit. Puck off the stick of Callaghan. Icing waved off here as it went off his stick. Quevedo now behind the net. Pushed there by Vaughn. Neutral ice now this puck lays. That was Gavin Wasmith with it, number 10 for the Jayhawks. I was about to say Luke Nessa, but again, it's going to be Wazzy wearing number 10 for the Jayhawks this afternoon. Puck left behind the net of Liam Scott, so Coe goes to pick it up, but the Jayhawks will send it right back behind the net. Del Sante with it now. Del Sante will move it up and get shoved off there. That was Patrick Beamer. Patrick Beamer suiting up for this afternoon's game. Was a scratch yesterday. Puck laid in neutral ice now. 9.5 to go in the first period, and it's going to be an offsides call here against Nebraska. Just over halfway through this first period, and boy, Nebraska, they have looked faster than they did look yesterday. KU, though, too, trying to come out with pep in their step right now, but seems like nothing is working so far for the Jayhawks. 6 shots on goal for KU, 7 for Nebraska. Rothenberg swats that puck aside. It's a hand pass there, but the Jayhawks touch up first, so the whistle will not be blown. Far boards now. This puck winds around into the far corner left. Rothenberg to pick it up on the backhand. Man, we've been saying Shane Rothenberg's name a lot this weekend series. The sophomore out of Park Ridge, Illinois, the leading goal scorer with 7 goals on the season for Nebraska. Once again, it is Rothenberg. Rothenberg for Seibel. Seibel tries to find Boyd along the boards. He does. Boyd tries to dump it down to Rothenberg, but the Jayhawks intercept it as they'll dump it in neutral ice as they go for a partial line change. The defense goes for a line change, I should say. Delayed offsides against Nebraska, so Zach Roberts, the defenseman for KU, will get a little extra time to decide what he wants to do with the puck. Puck in neutral ice, left for Adamski. Adamski with Rothenberg. Finds Rothenberg. Rothenberg shot, kicked aside by Olsen and into the far boards. Rothenberg trying to go cross ice with it, but nobody but Crimson and Blue there. Blake Hearn tries to work around Tyler Mapes, but Mapes able to keep it there. Rothenberg's shot goes up and above the crossbar. Rebound opportunity for Mapes. He couldn't get the puck on the stick, so it's the Jayhawks trying to enter the zone now of Nebraska. Shot on, they score! It was a wicked wrister by Harry Ives for KU, tying this game up for the Jayhawks, one apiece. Ives, his second goal of the 2025-2026 campaign, knots this game up at one apiece between the Jayhawks and the Cornhuskers. See if the Jayhawks can use that to their advantage and breathe some new life into this team. It's going to be an offsides against Nebraska there as they just lost control, or lost notice, excuse me, of where they were on the ice, I think. Harry Ives, a freshman out of Overland Park, played his youth hockey with the KC Stars, as most kids do around these parts of the Kansas City Metro. And he knots this game up one apiece. Nice wicked wrister there above the glove, tucking it underneath the crossbar. Dangerous puck in front of the crease of Scott. Rebound opportunity for Vaughn, pushed aside by Liam Scott. Liam Scott looking far more efficient and better than he did last night for sure. I mean, that goes to say, too, for the Cornhusker defense. This is Kim, the goal scorer this afternoon so far for Nebraska. Look at him do it by himself in the near corner now, going up against Blake Hearn, the assistant captain for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks look to enter now. This is Vaughn with it. Going tape to tape is KU. Vaughn tries to dangle around a man. Shot there by Callaghan. Rebound opportunity, trying to tuck it in. Were the Jayhawks. Vaughn had an opportunity on the backhand with one hand, but Liam Scott shut in a door there along the right post. He'll think his post for sure. Under 7 minutes now remaining in this first period. Quevedo trying to get it on trying to enter the Jayhawks zone. He couldn't though. It's actually going to be Zachary Del Sante doing it. At least he tried, but now here are the Jayhawks with the puck. This is Ives with it again. Ives' shot goes wide in. Knuckles around behind the net of Liam Scott. In the high slot now. That was Huber, but he gets the puck taken off his stick. Half wall now. Ives picks it up, trying to find Landis in the high slot. Landis, though, will play it to the boards. Going down now is Hearn. Behind the net now. This puck is laying out, waiting for a team to pick it up. It's going to be Nebraska doing that along the near boards. This is Quevedo exiting with it. Quevedo trying to split two defenders. He can't. Nice job by the Jayhawks defense. Jay Quevedo, though, getting aggressive as the Nebraska fans and his teammates like that aggression. Near corner now. Big hit there put on by Kim as here comes KU. This is Landis with it. Landis dumps it for Ives. Ives now gives it to Landis by the net. High slot. They score! Bang, bang, go the Jayhawks. And it is George Bullard giving them a 2-1 lead. 2 unanswered goals for KU. With just over 5 minutes remaining, or over 5.5 minutes remaining in the first period, Jayhawks go back-to-back unanswered in the span of a few minutes, courtesy of a George Bullard goal. Bullard from the high slot just put a wrister on the net of Liam Scott and was able to find pay dirt for KU. Jayhawks get this puck. I realized I said pay dirt there. I got my mind on football there, folks, after that KU K-State game. We'll say found net for the Jayhawks. That'll be more of a proper hockey term to use. Seibel, the captain for Nebraska, carries the puck through neutral ice, and he'll ring it around the boards. Ben Olsen asking for an icing, but Seibel was indeed in front of the center red line. Man, going in for a hit there. That was Gavin Wasmith, but he got shouldered aside by Rothenberg. Rothenberg, a big kid for Nebraska, somebody that you don't really want to see his bad side. Half ball now. This puck lays for the Jayhawks, trying to clear it. They can't. Nebraska tries to keep it in. They won't be able to. It's going to be delayed offsides. The Cornhuskers finally touch up. Jayhawks try to exit. They can't. Intercepted that one. Neutral ice was Christian Clover as he wraps around the boards. Jayhawks trying to exit right now. Just ugly passing for KU. Something I was talking about with head coach Andy McConnell for the Jayhawks before this game started. Jayhawks just got to be more efficient with their tape-to-tape passing. Puck in neutral ice. Dumping it in there is Kim. Jayhawks get it as they'll try to send it down the other way. They do. No icing here. That puck didn't go far enough. Instead, though, we're going to have a penalty called behind the play by one of our referees. It's going to go against Nebraska. And we'll get a look. It'll be Jawan Kim going to the box for a minor. It's going to be a roughing against Kim, and Kim's going to ask for an explanation from a referee, but I have a feeling he's not going to get the one he likes. So our first penalty of the afternoon, assessed, of course, to our first goal scorer of the afternoon, Jawan Kim. Hockey can be a cruel game sometimes indeed. So the Jayhawk power play will get their first look of the afternoon. Of course, they cashed in on 3 power play goals last night as they try to keep that momentum rolling. Off the draw, it is Callaghan who picks it up. Roberts now at the blue line. He'll wrap it behind the net. That's Ives. Different first power play unit for the Jayhawks. Usually, of course, used to seeing John Feeney, Brett Tiddens, and those guys out there, but none of them available for the Jayhawks today. Half ball now. This puck played back to Vaughn. Vaughn from the high point. Shot on there. Got blocked by Mapes. Another shot there. Goes off the stick of Ives. Off of who knows what and way up into the netting. I thought that puck was going to go behind the netting. That puck went up so high. Looked like a fly ball. But indeed, it'll be a face-off coming to the left of the net of Liam Scott. Minute 31 remaining on the Jayhawk power play. Jawan Kim sitting for a minor roughing. From the point, it's Vaughn. Shot blocked in front of the net of Scott. Now it's Ives with it. Ives shot. Saved by Scott. 12 shots on goal for KU. 8 for Nebraska. Of course, Jayhawk power play just looking for opportunities. They're not where they want to be at this point in the season when talking with the coaching staff this weekend, but seems like they're going in the right direction with 3 power play goals last night, as said earlier. Vaughn at the point. He'll dance around. He loses a man. Rowan Vaughn shot. Saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity goes into the left corner. Nebraska sends that puck down as we're halfway through this power play for KU. Ben Olsen leaves it for Rowan Vaughn. Putting the pressure on there is Quevedo. He'll decide otherwise. He'll try to pressure Rowan Vaughn as he finally makes a pass. It's Huber with it. Huber tries to go around one. Nice stick play there by the Nebraska defenseman. And we'll have a stoppage here as that puck winds up into the bench of Nebraska. Seeing what our refs are talking about here, I don't know if they're going to want to delay of game on Nebraska. That's the only penalty I could think that they would want to be called, unless they're deciding where to drop this puck for the face-off. I didn't see who cleared it out exactly for Nebraska. I mean, it did go. They're going to decide if it went off something in the Nebraska bench. And looks like it's going to be fine. They're going to say it went off something before heading into the Nebraska bench. So it's still going to be 5-on-4 power play for the Jayhawks for the next 40 seconds. With the puck, this is Ives now. Ives will go east to west. Harry Ives dangles. Got Liam Scott a little too jumpy out of his crease. Surprised Ives didn't put a shot on there. It was a nice play, though, by the Cornhuskers defense. This is Huber with it now. Huber up top to Vaughn. Vaughn swinging a miss there. He'll backhand it on net, but it doesn't get anywhere. 13 seconds to go on the power play. Shot by Vaughn. Saved there with the glove hand by Liam Scott. As getting pushed down, there was Danny Callaghan, and looked like a little bit of a flop there by the freshman forward for the Jayhawks, as nothing is going to be called. Nice job, though. Daniel will try to find him a job maybe in Hollywood after his playing career here at KU's done. 10 seconds to go on the power play for KU. Hearn plays it to Vaughn. Vaughn down to Ives. Ives will tip it with the stick to Callaghan. Power play over for the Jayhawks. They're coming behind there. Nice job by Kim. He intercepts it. Huskers are 3-1 if they hurry. Shot. Save Bolson. Rebound opportunity. How did that puck stay out of the net of Ben Olsen? What a job there by Olsen to go behind with his glove, it looked like, and sweep that one off of the goal line. Oh my, Ben Olsen. Yeah, I think that was Ethan Schmelzer streaking on. Excuse me, that was not Schmelzer. I think that was either Adamski or Rothenberger. Didn't get a good look at who it was exactly. But one of them going in there had a shot on Olsen. He saved it initially, and a rebound went behind him. Nice job by the young man, able to sweep that one out. Shot there. That's going to be a much easier save for Ben Olsen. A little slow line drive there. Only thing he had to worry about. Not even a slow line drive, just a slow little knuckle puck almost. Nice thing. Tough thing for him there, though. There was a Cornhusker streaking down there. If that Husker got to it first, could have maybe hit that one in behind the net of Ben Olsen, but we remained with a KU one-goal lead. 95 seconds to go in this first period. Puck into face-off circle. Both teams vying for possession of it. Jayhawks look like they're going to get to it first as they send it down the length of the ice. And icing going to be called here against KU. Our linesman teams, that puck went far enough with just over a minute 20 to play in the first period. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome inside Advent Hill Sports Park at Blue Hawk here in Overland Park, Kansas. The second of two games this weekend between Nebraska and KU. KU taking the night opener last night by a score of 9-1. That was a great showing by Kai Vetter, the Jayhawks goalie. And boy, just a lot of great special teams play by the Jayhawks last night too. Penalties were a problem for them last night. And so far, I mean, announcer's jinx probably incoming, but so far at KU, no penalties in this first period. As we're going to have a stoppage here. That puck went up and into the net. Ryan Cartman here bringing you the second game of two between Nebraska and KU. Only one on the mic today, I am. Everybody else had other plans, and I think you could guess by the football game that KU had today what those other plans were. Under 50 seconds to go now for the Jayhawks. Here's Braxton Landis carrying the puck on his stick. The lefty shot for KU. Landis centering it into the low slot for Bullard. Rebound, or excuse me, not rebound opportunity, but a puck going through the crease of Liam Scott. Jayhawks, though, couldn't pick it up. 35 seconds to go. Playing at the point there was Travis Breyer. Near boards now, this puck alive. Trying to clear it out. It's Clover. He can't. Breyer scooping it up for the Jayhawks. Look at him bring some pressure along the near boards. 20 seconds now remaining in the first. Cass with it behind the net. Cass up to Lazari. Lazari trying to headman it. Can't. And it's 5 seconds to go in this period. Braxton Landis will play that puck in neutral ice. And that'll do it for this first period of play between Nebraska and KU. Nebraska with much more life than they had last night at this point of the game, as they're only down one. Jayhawks with a 2-1 lead going into the first intermission. Jayhawk goals coming courtesy of George Bullard and, well, I lost my stat sheet. I know George Bullard had the first one. Of course, the goal for Nebraska coming from from Jawan Kim. It's a 2-1 KU lead as we head into the first intermission. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Jayhawks start with the second period lead, 2-1 over the Cornhuskers. 14 shots on goal for KU, 10 for Nebraska. And Nebraska, though, showing more life than they did at this point last night. And I'm Ryan Cartman bringing you the second of two games between the Cornhuskers and KU. As I said earlier, these two teams played last night. Jayhawks took the opener 9-1 against Nebraska. First goal of the afternoon was by Jawan Kim, the sophomore out of Seoul, South Korea for Nebraska. Then the Jayhawks got on the board first, courtesy of a goal from Harry Ibes. And then not too much later, only a minute later or two, another Jayhawk goal, that time coming from George Bullard. That is where we got to this point with Jayhawks up 2-1. Right to start the puck drop for the second period. Both teams on the ice, everybody on their bench. As it'll be the Jayhawks' first line out to drop this, or take this puck drop. It'll be the first line also for Nebraska, Rothenberger and Huber. To start the second period, it is Huber getting the best of Rothenberger. Zach Roberts off the draw has that one. He'll send it into Nebraska D zone, but picking it up there is Shanahan. Sending it down the length of the ice is the Huskers. Puck going through the crease north to south of Ben Olsen. Stays out of the net. As here come the Jayhawks going the other way, west to east. This is Blake Hearn. Hearn tries to dump it. High slot, can't. Callaghan shot on. Rebound opportunity. Blake Hearn there. Callaghan there. Open net for the Jayhawks. And, man, not able to put that puck on the stick there was KU. Shot deflected in front of the net of Scott, and it goes wide. Roberts down along the near boards. Here comes Rothenberger the other way. Shane Rothenberger, shot, goes wide. I think it hit the stick of Blake Hearn on its way to the net of Ben Olsen. Some debris in center ice right now. See if that gets picked up. This is Vaughn with it. Vaughn rolling around. Tries to go 5-full on Scott, but it goes behind the net of Liam instead. Near boards now. Puck played back by Callahan. This is a shot there by the Jayhawks. Another shot on the net of Liam Scott. He's able to sprawl out for that save. Shot there, blocked in front of the net by Cager Lucas. Or excuse me, that was Tyler Mapes. Here's now picked up by Callahan. Here's a headman pass for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks shot on, saved by Scott. Behind the net now. This puck is wrapped around the boards. Keep it in as a Jayhawks shot on there. Cavado will pick it up with his stick as here comes the Huskers looking to enter ice. Puck behind the net now, left by Callahan. Big hit put on him there as he is slow to get up. Lost his stick as well behind the net. Ben Olsen. Callahan gingerly with his left wrist there as he goes to the bench. Didn't even bother to pick up a stick. Shot there off the post. Gets popped up and is played in the near corner by these teams. Callahan looks like he's going to go down the tunnel, for the Jayhawks. So 5 defensemen now for KU, or at least for the time being. Near corner now, this puck is played to the far corner now. It goes. Braxton Landis will send it back by the net. Harry Ibes. Ibes, low slot Bullard. They score! George Bullard, his second of the afternoon, has the Jayhawks now up by 2. This first line doing all the work for the Jayhawks right now. Give them 3 goals so far in the afternoon, and we're not even 23 minutes into this hockey game. $17:23 to go in the period after George Bullard has the Jayhawks dancing up 2 goals. Puck intercepted there by neutral ice. Here they come again. This is Bowler with it. Bowler's shot goes wide as he's now vying for a hat trick. Puck played at the half wall now by Nebraska as they try to answer back. Roberts, though, was able to clear that one out to the boards. Landis with it at his feet. Nebraska, though, delayed offside as that puck gets dumped in behind the net of Olsen. He'll go to play it, knowing that the Huskers had to touch up, and they finally did. Ives gets it stolen off a stick by Kim. Kim, high slot shot. Saved by Olsen. Ives and Landis both getting assists on that goal. Points on that line, all points on that first line for the Jayhawks. Of course, the goal going to Bullard and the assist going to Landis and to Ives. Excuse me, beg your pardon. It is the second line for the Jayhawks. That's 3 goals. I misread my line chart there. Shot there, glove down, and saved by Ben Olsen. So excuse me, that first line for the Jayhawks is Vaughn, Huber, Callaghan. The second line for the Jayhawks is Landis, Bullard, and Ives. And that second line is a line for KU that has all those 3 goals. So Andy McConnell's team right now showing some depth, which this line for the Jayhawks is traditionally a mix between a third and their fourth line. So some real depth for KU right now in this game. Seibel behind the net, sprawling out, trying to get it back to the point. He did. Coe gets in. He'll dump it back down now. Puck on top of the net of Ben Olsen, and it's picked up by KU as here come the Jayhawks. That was DeZulo with it. Shot there, trying to go 5-hole there was the Jayhawks. They couldn't find anything as it's saved by Scott. Ben DeZillo with it, carrying it through neutral ice. He is wearing 24 today. And, of course, 24 usually, well, that's John Feeney. So, right when you're ready to say John Feeney, you got to remember that these guys aren't here. It's Ben DeZillo for the Jayhawks. Shot from the highest point. Didn't get to net of Scott. Jayhawks sprawling out, trying to get a puck on net. They couldn't. They'll play it instead to the far corner. Opportunity for the Hawks. Pushed off the puck, though, was number 26 for KU. Puck played in neutral ice, shot on goal there of Olsen. As this puck now is resting in the Jayhawk defensive zone as they clear it down to length. Icing going to be assessed here against KU. This faceoff will come to the other side of the ice. Face off to the left of Ben Olsen. Going to be taken here by the Jayhawks. Long and near boards now playing it. Intercepted by Nebraska. Shot on there. Another save by Olsen. 15:09 to go in the game. This time face-off's going to come to the right of the net of Ben Olsen. Long to board. Jayhawks try to clear it, and puck went in the netting before it got in the neutral ice, so we'll have another stoppage and the face-off again in Jayhawks defensive zone. Whistle's blown as we're ready to put up the puck. Linesman's going to wait for a second. As losing that face-off there. Off the draw, it's Butts with the goal. Colby Butts, his second goal of the season, inches the Huskers back ever so closer. It is now a 1-goal deficit for Nebraska. resetting the clock here inside the arena. The clock's going to read 14:58, not 14:51. Get that fixed after the next whistle. And I think our next whistle is going to come right now. Hockey God's giving me some gratitude there. It's going to be 14:47 to go in the second period. So Colby Butts, his second goal of the year right off the draw, went crossbar high off of Ben Olsen. Olsen just couldn't get the glove up in time. It's now a 3-2 KU lead. Again, Jayhawks, just compared to their Friday night showings, just look more stale. Of course, it is a back-to-back as well, so more tired legs out there. High slot shot, kicked aside there by Olsen. More tired legs for KU for sure, but they have 3 goals, but Nebraska has 2, and of course, way closer than it was last time. Shot on there, saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity, Scott covers up. Quevedo gets the assist for Nebraska, give him his 5th assist of the season. Entering the weekend tied for team lead in assists with 4. Penalty here, this one going to be against, I want to say it's going to be against KU. It's going to be an interference call against Danny Callaghan. Callaghan trying to plead his case. He won't be able to. So the Jayhawks going to the box for the first time this afternoon. The Nebraska power play going to get to go to work. So Jayhawks' first penalty kill of the afternoon, coming way earlier than they did last night. See if the Jayhawks penalty kill could stay hot. They've been hot pretty much this whole season. Rothenberger off the draw, shot, glove save there by Olsen. Same exact look that Olsen got just moments ago from Colby Butts to give Nebraska a 1-goal deficit. Off the draw again, Rothenberger picks it up. Rothenberger near boards. Up to Seibel. Seibel from the point. Shot blocked with the stick of Jayhawk defender. Nebraska able to fight it behind the boards. This puck will finally get out. Jayhawks on the kill, of course. Minute 40 to go on the power play. Puck in neutral ice now. Jayhawks pick it up. Roberts with it on his stick at the circle as he'll send it down the length. Right, though, to Jay Quevedo. Or, excuse me, that is Caleb Coe. Coe with it, the lefty. Tries to protect the puck along the boards. He does. Nice job by that young man. Rothenberger at the hot fall. Rothenberger down to Coe. Coe back to Rothenberger. Rothenberger waits, fires as that puck goes up and into the netting. Minute 07 to go on the power play. Power play for Nebraska coming courtesy of a minor interference called against Danny Callaghan. Jayhawks, of course, 11, yes, you heard it right, 11 minor penalties last night. I even had to say it again because I'm just so shocked. Of course, KU thought some of those calls were a little soft. Brett Siddons ended up getting a major, the only major for KU, and it was because of complaining to the referees. I heard from sources after the game, we'll just say that KU thought it was a soft call. Some soft calls went against them, but either way, that penalty kill stuck up, though, for the Jayhawks. And, hey, you'll take a 9-1 win, however it has to come. Puck lost at the feet of Del Sante for a second, but he's able to squeeze it back now to Lazzari. Playing it at his feet is Clover. High slot now. Backhand shot to the side of the net of Olsen. Jayhawks now down in front of the crease. Getting up slowly is Zach Zdakis. Zdakis will stay at the top of the crease. This is Lazzari. Lazzari trying to find some open ice. He can't. 28 seconds to go on the power play for Nebraska. As here come the Jayhawks. They are 2-on-1 up the hurry. Rowan Vaughn with it. Vaughn. Backhand. Shot. They score. No, they do not. My bad, folks. I thought that puck went in to the back of the net. I totally missed that one. That is my fault. I, for some reason, thought I saw Jayhawk with his hands held high there. It was a wide open net for KU to look at, and they just didn't convert. So chalk that one up, 1 point against the broadcaster. This is Quevedo now carrying it in. Quevedo shot. 5-hole save by Olsen. Delayed penalty against Nebraska. So Scott comes out of his net for an extra attacker. Behind the net, this puck goes. Jayhawks finally touched up, and it's going to be a penalty coming up yet again to KU. And I'll take the blame for that one, folks. Called the early goal there for the Jayhawks, and the Jayhawks go to the box. That might be on me. Trying to get a number there. It's going to be Nick Cahalan going out for the Jayhawks. He had 2 minors of his own last night. Give him another one this afternoon. A Jayhawk penalty kill right back on the ice. Roberts wraps around the boards and able to keep it into Seibel. Nice job skating by the captain for the Huskers. Rothenberger shot. Saved by Olsen. Face off to the right of Olsen, won by KU. Around the boards and up it goes over the head of Coe. So he's going to have to race back to retrieve that puck. George Bullard trying to race after with him. Rothenberger now. He will carry it into neutral ice. Getting checked there. Stick lifted by Bullard. Rothenberger holds strong. Rothenberger near corner. Puck battled for by a few Huskers and a couple Hawks. Roberts wraps it to Hearn, and Hearn's going to look to clear it. He does. Nice job by Blake Hearn, the defenseman out of Orchard Park, New York. 22 shots on goal for the Jayhawks, 17 for the Huskers. If you're just joining us, KU up 3-2, but they are on the penalty kill. I'm Ryan Cartman bringing you the second of 2 games in this Matcha Silver West series. That's Clover with it. He carries it in. He'll leave it for Coe. Shot on there, blocked by the legs of Roberts as this puck is in neutral ice. Shot there by Quevedo, beg your pardon. Hit there put on against Quevedo. Quevedo able to stand tall. Far side now along the right wing boards. The Huskers trying to make something happen on the power play, but the Jayhawk penalty kill, boy oh boy, have they looked good this weekend. Puck left in the high slot. Jayhawks able to clear it out. Just under 30 seconds to go on the minor to Cahalan. Puck retrieved by Adamski. Shot on there by Cam. Rebound opportunity in the high slot. Getting back in front of his net is Olsen. Nice job. Another shot goes wide of the net of Olsen. I think it was tipped in front by Cornhusker. Up top, this is Adamski. Adamski's shot didn't get to the net of Scott. Rebound opportunity. Net of Olsen, excuse me. Rebound opportunity goes wide. Jayhawks back to even strength as racing out of the box is Cahalan. Coming on is Callaghan. Callaghan along the right wing boards. There's a 3-on-2 opportunity if the Jayhawks hurried, but they lose control, and Nebraska sends it down. It's behind the net now of Olsen. Poked ahead with one hand by Breyer. Tries to find Callaghan and ends up reaching the Cornhuskers. 9.5 minutes to go now in the second. Big hit there put on by the Jayhawks, and it's going to be yet another penalty against KU as racing to his bench is Scott as Nebraska goes for the extra attacker. KU touches up, and my guess it's going to be a cross-check against Danny Callaghan. Didn't get a great look at it. It was on the other side of the ice, and Callaghan was behind me. No, it's going to be a rough against Danny, and frankly, a call that that's my reaction to it, folks. Jayhawk bench not too pleased with it, and that's my reaction right now to that call as well. Just another penalty going against KU. Looked like a clean hit, but Callaghan goes to sit, and the Jayhawk penalty kill again. Deja vu, right back on the ice. Jayhawks playing with fire. Travis Breyer behind the net. He will clear it into neutral ice to Seibel. Seibel just able to keep that puck off the blue line. No offsides against Nebraska. Rothenberger shoots it wide of the net. Rothenberger loses at his feet. Jayhawks able to clear into neutral ice, and here comes KU. This is Vaughn with it. Vaughn along the near boards. Rowan Vaughn shot up and saved. Rebound opportunity there. A fly ball almost in front of the crease of Scott, and it's going to be a penalty against Nebraska. Big hit there by Nebraska, and it's going to be a penalty against the Huskers. I'm guessing we might get in. I don't know what we're going to get here. We're about to find out, you and me together. It's going to be a cross-check against the Cornhuskers. Nebraska fans not taking too kindly to it, as this call goes against Steven Adamski, and we'll be 4-on-4 for a minute and a half to play. .8:53 to go in the second period. Faceoff comes out to the right of Scott. Won by Nebraska. Lots of open ice right now. 4-on-4 hockey. Picking up for the Jayhawks on the back check is Breyer. Puck turned over now. Shot on. Saved by Olsen, or I should say redirected by Olsen. He'll go down to safe in the box score either way. Near boards now. Penalty against Nebraska. And it's going to be an interference going against the way of the Huskers. And I don't know if you guys can hear, if you at home can hear on the mic, but it's going to be an interference against Nebraska. And Nebraska fans saying a lot of words that are not suitable for this live stream, voicing their displeasure with these last couple of calls. It's going to be Caleb Coe sitting for that interference. Caleb Seibel, the captain for Nebraska, trying to get an explanation, but he won't get the one he wants. So the Jayhawks will be on a 4-on-3 power play for the next minute and 9 seconds, barring, I guess, any other penalties at this point. Nebraska clears it down the length as Ben Olsen goes out of his net to play it. Olsen leaves it for Roberts, getting pressured by Quevedo. Zach Roberts with the puck. He leaves it for Huber as Huber races up the ice. Huber down the left side. Huber from the dot. He'll go behind the net and come around. Huber still with it. Centering pass. Shot. They score! A power play goal for the Jayhawks. Off the stick of Blake Kern. Doubles the KU lead. 4-2 with just over 8 minutes to go in the second period. So the Jayhawk penalty or power play has been looking for life this whole season. It seems like they have found it, at least so far this weekend, is Blake Kern getting the Jayhawks a 2-goal lead. For Hearn, that is his first goal of the season. As here are the Jayhawks again. Rowan Vaughn with it behind the net now. And the far corner, Vaughn goes with it, getting pressured off the puck. Nice job by the Huskers. We're back to 4-on-4 hockey for a little bit. Big hit in neutral ice put on there by Nebraska. At the point now, this is Huber. Huber dangles around and he waits. Jayhawks going to be on the power play here in a second. They are now for the next 51 seconds. Near boards, Rothenberger has control of it as Nebraska's now shorthanded. Puck poked down to neutral ice by Rothenberger, and Nebraska will send it down behind the net of Olsen. So far, at least for these last 5 or 10 minutes or so, I should say, penalties have been the story for both these teams. This puck goes up behind the netting above the Nebraska bench as well as stoppage with 24 seconds on the power play for the Jayhawks, under 7 minutes to go in the second period. But it has seemed that penalties have taken over the game for the past 8 to 10 minutes or so. And the Jayhawks take advantage of it as they have a power play goal just moments to go off the stick of Blake Hearn. Neutral ice now. Ives skates with it. Harry Ives decides to go the other way as Ives now along the boards. Ives shot saved by Scott. 12 seconds to go on the penalty to Caleb Coe. He's sitting for a minor interference as Nebraska goes for a late change. Landis to take the face-off for KU. Quevedo for Nebraska. Quevedo won initially. Puck played loose at the feet of the linesman. He can't get out of there. He finally does. You know he doesn't want to be stuck there for too long when you got a bunch of hockey players around you trying to vie for a puck. Penalty to Nebraska expires. We're even strength now. Ives shot up off the stick of a player in front of the net of Scott, and in the netting, face-off will come out in front of the net of Liam Scott. Just under 6.5 to go in the second period. Jayhawks up 4-2 over Nebraska. Here at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk, I'm Ryan Cartman bringing you game 2 of this 2-game set between the Cornhuskers and the Jayhawks. Nebraska fans have been showing up for this weekend series. It's only about just over 3 hours when I did the Apple Maps directions from how far it is to get from here to Lincoln, Nebraska, the capital, of course, of the state north of Kansas. Big hit there put on there by Lazari, and it's going to be yet another penalty against Nebraska. It looks like Lazari got his elbow in there on Harry Ives as he'll be going to sit. Excuse me, that was not Ives that got hit. That was Nick Cahalan that got hit. He already had to go to the tunnel once this afternoon. Looks like he'll be fine, but the Jayhawks will take the power play opportunity yet again with just under 5 minutes to go. Didn't see exactly what the penalty called was to Lazari. If I had to guess, might have been an elbowing. Don't know if it would constitute a boarding, but it was definitely an elbowing or maybe a rough. Either way, the Jayhawks don't care what call it is as long as they get the penalty. They're on the power play yet again. Up top, it's Vaughn. Vaughn's shot. Wicked misdirection there. Wicked redirection, I should say, in front of the net of Scott, and it goes behind his net. Now played at the boards. Huber working down. Huber's shot saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity in front of his net. Vaughn with the shot. He scores! Rowan Vaughn rattles the bottle and gives the Jayhawks a 3-goal lead on another power play goal. Vaughn, 2 goals last night, one of them on the power play. He now extends his team lead for KU goals to 15 on the season. Puck is dropped after that power play goal by Rowan Vaughn. Jayhawks taking good advantage of their power play opportunities. Again, showing signs of life, I should say, major signs of life on their power play. It's a Jayhawk without a stick there. That looks to be Zach Zdekis with that one. Puck behind the net of Olsen. Zdekis still without a stick, trying to get one from a forward if you can. You want your defenseman to have a stick rather than a forward. Zdekis, but he's just going to try to vie off some shots there from Kim. Zdekis looking to kick it with his feet. He can't, though. His stick is in neutral ice, tripping over it there for a moment. That was number 6 for the Jayhawks. Usually Nick Willington can't find who it is right now on my sheet. Again, lots of new numbers for the Jayhawks, lots of scratches for this game. Puck behind the net of Scott. Lots of physicality behind the net now by Nebraska. Nebraska trying to get something going here as they enter the zone. This is Rothenberger trying to split 2. He'll just dump it. Shot up above the crossbar of Nebraska, and it's going to be a delayed penalty called here. Going against, I don't know actually. Our orange stripe had his arm up, and it's going to be going against Nebraska, and it's going to be going against Shane Rothenberger, leading goal scorer for this Husker team. There'll be yet another interference called in this game. I think, if I'm tallying it correctly, our 3rd interference of the afternoon. And Well, it was a Jayhawk penalty kill getting most of the attention the first half of the second period, and now it's Jayhawk power play getting most of the attention the second half of the second period as head coach for Nebraska, Nate Fuller, not taking too kindly to these calls right now. Off the draw, one by Nebraska. KU, though, able to regain control. It's Huber. Huber down to Roberts. Roberts, though, loses an edge, and he goes down. It's Huber, though, with it in. Huber out wide. Shot there. Save by Scott. Face off to the left now of Liam Scott as Nebraska goes for a half line change. Near corner now. Behind the net it goes. Callaghan trying to get it on the stick. He can as he's on the ice. Nebraska tries to clear. They can't. Callaghan down to Vaughn. Vaughn slap shot. Shot it into a Cornhusker as he is laying down on the ice. Opportunity in the low slot. Vaughn now behind the net. He's going to try to make something happen. He'll instead send it up to Huber, Huber, Vaughn. Vaughn shot through traffic. Didn't get to the net of Scott as Nebraska clears it into neutral ice, whereas we're halfway through the Jayhawk power play. Vaughn behind the net as Jayhawks race up the ice west to east. Vaughn avoids the check. Vaughn backhand. Vaughn shot on. Saved. Rebound opportunity. Saved yet again by Scott as Nebraska sends this one down the length of the ice. Penalty kill looking good. Bending, not breaking for the Cornhuskers. 37 seconds to go in power play time for KU. Vaughn behind the net. Rowan Vaughn, the freshman out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. One of my favorite hockey town names that I've heard throughout my career broadcasting for KU. Minnetonka. Headman pass up now. Here's a shot up above the crossbar and off the glass. Behind the net of Scott. 5 seconds on the power play left. Up top now, this is Callan with a Callan slap shot. Rebound opportunity for the Jayhawks. Saved and smothered up there by Scott. Just over 2 minutes to go in this middle period to play. Folks, my apologies. Number 6 on the ice. It is Nick Woolington. I thought he was scratched. I did that wrong on my chart in front of me. Nick Woolington, he is the third-line centerman for tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, as we work our way into the evening hours here in Overland Park, 5:41 p.m. local time. Callan goes to retrieve the puck behind the red line. Callan getting pushed off there by Adamski. Callan able to shovel it up. Played there by Meade. Meade almost lost control of it. Almost an opportunity for Rothenberger, but the Jayhawks now go the other way. Dumped behind the net and into the corner boards now. Neutral ice, this puck is laid out. It's Rothenberger now. Rothenberger trying to avoid the referee. Rothenberger goes behind the net. Rothenberger to Adamski. Adamski trying to work off pressure there by Woolington. Rothenberger high slot. Can't get a shot to go through. Can't get a shot to go through the Jayhawks. Nebraska now near boards. Neutral ice now. It's Seibel. Seibel at the half ball. Dumps it. Shot wide of the net of Olsen. This puck played out in neutral ice. It's Harry Ives. 48 seconds to go. Ives centering. Redirect. Saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity. Scott got pushed into his own net. Ref has not made a signal yet to where this puck is. I'm assuming, though, it's no goal. Scott got pushed into the net by one of his own defensemen who was going down. And Caleb Seibel, the captain for these Huskers, pleading his case about something to a linesman as he gets back to the bench. And it's no goal as his faceoff will come out to the right side of Liam Scott. Referee gets the net back on its bearings. Chatting with Liam Scott for a second, and we're good to drop the puck. 43 seconds to go in the second. Face-off won by the Huskers, and it's Mapes who controls it off the draw. To Adamski. Adamski now feeds it up to Clover. Clover carries it, protects the puck from Zach Roberts. Roberts, though, gets control, and he'll wrap it around the boards and a neutral ice. Cass picks it up. 20 seconds remaining in the second. Beaster now works around one, sends it around the boards. Olsen out of his net, gloves it down there. That puck came up awkwardly. 10 seconds now. George Bullard off the stick and neutral ice. 7 seconds to go. Jayhawks going to have to hurry here if they want a goal. And what looked to be a cross-check put on there by George Bullard as time will expire in the second period. No penalty called there. Nebraska wants a penalty, and I think, too, that might have been a missed call there by our officials. Jayhawks, though, will take the no call. Trying to get a look at the replay here. Maybe not a cross-check, but definitely a hit up high by George Bullard as Nebraska is asking for a penalty on that one. Caleb Seibel out to talk with our referee. They're not going to get the answer they want to hear, though. It'll be the Jayhawks scoring 3 goals in the second. Nebraska with one of their own. Jayhawks will enter the second intermission up 3 goals, 5-2 over Nebraska. 28 shots on goal for KU, 19 for the Huskers. Jayhawks power play, special teams humming right now as we'll send it into the second intermission break. Jayhawks up 5-2. Keep it right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk, getting ready for the start of the third and final period between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and your Kansas Jayhawks. Jayhawks coming into the third period with a 5-2 lead, courtesy of some good goaltending by Ben Olsen, plus some great special teams play on both sides of the Jayhawks, on the penalty kill side and on the power play side. We'll start this third period even strength as we're ready to drop the puck here. 20 more minutes to play. We'll see who comes out on top. Zach Roberts with it. Roberts intercepted in neutral ice by the Huskers. He'll send it down in front of the net of Ben Olsen, and he leaves it for Blake Hearn. Hearn. Headman's that tip up to Callaghan. Callaghan shot by Vaughn. He scores! Well, the Jayhawks waste no time getting on the board to start this third period, 19:36 to go in the period. Only 24 seconds for Rowan Vaughn to find the back of the net and cash it in. His second goal of the evening has Jayhawks up 4. And I should add on to the 16th goal of the season for Rowan Vaughn. If I do my math correctly, that is almost a goal and a half average per game. Spectacular stuff from the freshman from Minnetonka. Near boards now, trying to pick that puck up. There's Vaughn. Vaughn again off a stick of Lazari and in the netting. Not enough great things you can say about Rowan Vaughn. This freshman class, I mean, man, they have the ability to find open ice. They know, they just know smart hockey. They know where to go with the puck. They know where to pass it, where to find good shots at. Again, the only thing, I mean, this whole team, KU team needs to work on offense, really, is just the efficiency of their tape-to-tape passing. And the freshmen doing a good job of it there. Here comes Rothenberg with it. 3-on-1 for Nebraska. Trying to find Seibel there on the back doorstep, but they couldn't connect as the Jayhawks look to go the other way on an odd man rush. It won't be an odd man rush, though. Back checking in time was Nebraska. Nice job by Big Red. Near corner now. High slot there was Landis, but he couldn't keep it in as Ives will dump it. Puck played along the half wall by Del Sante. Del Sante, though, loses it. Bullard goes behind the net to try to pick up the change. Half wall again. This is Seibel this time. Seibel stick lifted by Landis, but able to keep a stick on the puck. Rothenberger with it. Rothenberger gets tangled up there with Harry Ives and goes down. Almost ran into the linesman as well. That is Zach Zadakis avoiding a hit. Nice job there by Zadakis, seeing the big Christian Clover come down the lane. He's only 5'9", but Clover big for somebody at 5'9". This is Breyer. Breyer now off the side of the net, trying to center it for Mead, excuse me. In front of the net now. Mead had it on the stick for a second, but lost control as Cass goes into the corner to retrieve. Cass, though, just too much on that one. So getting it instead, that's Woolington. Woolington pushed down one time, and he loses an edge up now, though, and he has control of it. Woolington to DeZillo. DeZillo around the boards now. Playing it there is Mead, keeping a Husker up against the boards. Mead has to let go, though. He does just in time. He didn't know where that puck was. Almost was interference against him. DeZillo fins off one hit. DeZillo falls over as this puck finds its way into neutral ice. Butts tries to race in, but he loses control of it to the Jayhawks. As here comes KU along the right wing side. Dangling around one shot. Saved by Scott. Some extracurriculars happen after the whistle blows. No penalties there. 31 shots on goal for KU, 20 for Nebraska. As updating the score bug there, 6-2 is the KU lead. Doing both jobs at once right now, folks. Face off to the left of Scott, won by KU. Losing control of it, though, was the Jayhawks, as this puck is now in neutral ice. Nebraska dumps it behind the net of Olsen, and he leaves it for Cahalan. Cahalan in a neutral ice, as this is the Jayhawks with it along the right wing side. Behind the net now, trying to center it, there's KU. Shot on, glove save by Liam Scott. Face off to the left of Scott. Won by the Jayhawks. Around the boards, this puck travels. Picked up by Coe on the backhand as he gets into neutral ice. New boards now. KU picks it up and rung around. Puck played in the defensive zone of KU. Nice job by the Jayhawks, able to put it back into neutral ice. Roberts behind the net, 15 and a half minutes to go in the third period. 4.5 expired. This is Kalinis with it. Kalinis far boards, tries to push it down to Huber. Huber now up top to Roberts. Roberts shot, and it wouldn't have mattered either way. There's a high sticking against KU. I think it was just a puck played with the high stick. No, it was not just a puck played with the high stick. It is going to be a minor for high sticking going against Paul Kalinis for the Jayhawks, the freshman out of Illinois. Nebraska wants to find their way back into this game. This is a great time to do it. Rowan Vaughn tried to intercept and break away. He couldn't. Shot on there by Seibel. Saved and pushed aside into the corner boards now. This is Quevedo. Quevedo goes once, goes twice. Quevedo still looking. Quevedo will bring it up top. Now to Rothenberger. Rothenberger shot off the glove and into the corner boards. Del Sante behind is Roberts now. Roberts on the backhand trying to get it out. He can't. Pushed aside by a couple Huskers. Jayhawks try to clear. They can again. Huskers able to keep. No, they can't keep it in. Ugly there by Caleb Seibel. Nebraska did such a great job to keep it in, and Seibel just lost it off his tape. Rowan Vaughn goes to race back to grab it. Seibel also. Seibel able to steal it there from Vaughn, so Seibel able to make up for his past woes there, as Vaughn puts a little shoulder check on Caleb Seibel. Shanahan tries to get in. He can't. Jayhawks try to shovel it out again. Back into the Jayhawk defensive zone. Just over a minute gone on the power play. Played off the glass into neutral ice. Kim picks it up as he gets pushed aside there by Huber. Near corner now, Zadakis gets to puck. Zadakis working off Clover. Rothenberger will pick it up, and he plays it at the point to Kim. Kim shot through traffic. It didn't get through traffic as it was blocked in front of the net of Olsen. Losing control of the puck there. Losing track of the puck was Clover, but he picks it up, plays it along the boards, up to Beester. Beester leaves it for Kim. Kim will force along the boards to Shanahan. Shanahan down to Beester. Beester pushed off by Jayhawk. Jayhawks around the boards this goes. 10 seconds to go on the power play, and that'll effectively kill the power play for Nebraska. Less of a poor showing on the power play for Nebraska this weekend, and more just great penalty killing for the Jayhawks. As here comes Kalinis out of the box. We're back to even strength. Bowled along the boards. We'll dump it in behind the net. Shanahan along the half wall. Shanahan up to, initially, up to Cater. And Cater will leave it behind the net now. Playing it is Cass. Cass now Mapes. Setting that puck down is Bullard in front of his feet, but the Huskers get to it first as they try to pressure it away. At the point now. Here's a shot. Shot, though, blocked by Cass. Puck played in neutral ice along the near boards. 12.5 to go in the period, the final period to play between these two teams. Nebraska wants a penalty there. They won't get it. Jayhawks come the other way. And a big hit there put on by Devin Cass against the Jayhawks. Nice clean hit there by Devin Cass. Half wall. Huskers clear it out. Big hit there put on by Landis along the boards. As this puck will be iced by Nebraska. Couple whistles blow there. And the reason a couple whistles blow there, well, we're going to have yet another penalty going against the Jayhawks. This one against Braxton Landis. Couldn't see the hand signal that our referee made as his back, was blocking my view. So it's Braxton Landis going to sit for a minor. Face-off will come out to the right of the net of Ben Olsen. Jayhawks yet again find themselves on the penalty kill. Off the draw, Nebraska controls. Puck dangerously in front of the net of Olsen, but the Jayhawks able to clear it down. Scooping this up is Coe. Nebraska trying to work on the power play. Have not found much success. Haven't found any, actually, if you look from the fruit of it. 0 power play goals to account for about 15 or 16 opportunities this weekend, at least. Quevedo loses control. Puck along the near boards now. Finds its way into neutral ice. 30 seconds gone on the power play. Adamski up to Quevedo. Huskers couldn't control it, so the Jayhawks will send it right to the net of Scott. Scott up the half wall. Vaughn, though, intercepts. Rowan Vaughn tries to keep that puck on the stick. He can't. Seibel instead will take control. Seibel tries to headman it, and this is going to be an icing against Nebraska. Poor power play execution by the Huskers. .31 shots on goal for KU, 20 for Nebraska, as KU finds themselves up 6-2 in the second of 2 games between the Huskers and the Jayhawks. It's a Maja Silver West action. Ryan Cartman bringing you the call here from Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk in Overland Park, Kansas, as fall weather starts to set in. Travis Brya there swinging a miss on that shot, as you hear some of the Nebraska fans giving him a little something for that one. Caleb Seibel now races up, finds Adamski. Adamski pinned along the boards by a couple Jayhawks. Jayhawks able to come away with it, but they'll just dump it in to the Nebraska defensive zone as Nebraska now is where it sets up the ice. Rothenberger and Tadakis going at it. Tadakis in the near corner. He gets to it first. Finds Woolington. Woolington clears into neutral ice. Picked up by Shanahan. Rothenberger now 20 seconds to go on the power play for Nebraska. Beaster on the backhand behind the net. In front of the net of Olsen. Olsen trying to cover up. Poke there by a couple Huskers. Still no whistle as this puck squirts its way out into the far corner. And the Jayhawks clear. What a job there by Ben Olsen to stand strong and keep this a 4-goal lead for KU as we are halfway through the third period. Both teams back at even strength. Far half wall now. Trying to clear it. They can't. Huber with it. High slot. Huber shot. Saved by Scott. Rebound opportunity in front of the net. Backdoor step. They score. The Jayhawks add another goal as it is now a 7-2 game off of the stick of Rowan Vaughn. Give Rowan Vaughn a hat trick. Rowan Vaughn, goal number 17 on the year, and my oh my, did Andy McConnell find himself a freshman. as that will effectively ice this game, barring a incredible Nebraska comeback. Puck played at the Jayhawks blue line, now up to Kalinis. Kalinis loses control of it. Cass places it along the boards. Kalinis right back, though, dumps it in as Jayhawks go to work on the forecheck. Along the near corner now. That's Kalinis. Kalinis still with it, feeds it to number 10 for KU, who is usually Luke Nessa, and I can't remember who it is anymore. Apologies, folks. Big hit there put on by Cass. Far corner now, behind the net. This is Quevedo with it on the stick. Number 10 is Gavin Wadsmith, beg your pardon. The defenseman for the Jayhawks was playing in the offensive zone. I was looking on the forward spot for my line chart for a KU and didn't realize number 10 was going to be Gavin Wadsmith. Penalty here assessed, this time to Nebraska. And frankly, this has been a very heavily penalized series for both these teams. Refs eager to blow the whistle at any chance they get, it seems like. So, no breaking news here in Overland Park. Face-off will come to the right of Liam Scott. Another power play opportunity for KU. Face-off one off the draw. Callaghan up to the point to Roberts. Back down to Callaghan. Callaghan from the dot. Shot. Saved. Rebound goes out to the far dot now. That's Huber. Huber will wait. Huber tries to feed it to Roberts. Roberts can't get to it. He finally does, and wraps it down to Ives. Ives back to Callaghan. 2 men below the net for the Jayhawks. Callaghan up to Roberts. Roberts tries to keep control of it. He does. Callaghan. Callaghan cross ice looking for Huber. Off of a Nebraska stick, though, and this will get sent down the length of the ice as Olsen goes out to play it behind his net. Just over 30 seconds gone on the power play. Racing down the left wing boards is Huber. He dangles around Seibel. Dangles around another. Huber loses control of it after going by to Huskers, and ugly play there by the Jayhawks trying to keep it in there was KU, but they couldn't as they have to go back and retreat. Minute gone on the power play. Minor penalty to Butts. Rothenberger behind the net. Pushed there by Huber. Roberts picks it up, sends it up to Huber now. Jayhawks cross the timeline, or the red line, excuse me. Huber now shot. He scores! Another power play goal for KU. This time courtesy of Hudson Huber. Puts the Jayhawks up 6. Hudson Huber, his second power play goal of the weekend, 5th goal of the season. Puts the Jayhawks up 6 and sitting comfortably in this one. Puck there rattled around awkwardly as we're going to have a timeout now called by Nebraska. Right now, I think Coach Nate Fuller is just trying to get his team, give him some bearings right now. As, again, talking to Nate Fuller before the weekend series, he was saying that, man, his team needs to find some identity, some confidence in themselves, and it hasn't looked that way so far this weekend. Jayhawks with a 17-3 lead in goals. If you include last night as well, Jayhawks outscoring Nebraska 17-3 this weekend as the timeout breaks for the Huskers. They're one and only of the evening. So it's Hudson Huber on the power play. That puck went off the left post of Scott. Yep, that's going to be a whistle there. Coming up too early there was Paul Kalinis. Linesmen and refs aren't going to take that. But that puck went off the left post of Scott, up above the crossbar, kind of rattled around like a basketball on a rim, and somehow found its way behind the goal line as the Jayhawks now up 6. Off of a skate, shot, they score! Not even 10 seconds after a power play goal, it is Paul Kalinis with his first career college goal. Or excuse me, I thought it was Colinas that scored it. He was not the first to go down the line. First to go down the line. I'm going to take a peek at the replay right now, folks. Thought it was Colinas. As the Jayhawks win the draw. It was Colinas with the goal, it looks like. He's going down the line as well, celebrating, was another Jayhawk, but I thought it was Colinas, and it is Colinas. Jayhawks up 6 after that goal. Just under 7 minutes to go in this one. Wait for the announcement from our PA announcer, though, just to double check who scored that goal. Puck in neutral ice. Won by Clover. Clover, though, turns it over to Zadakis. Zadakis off the walls. Missed by one Husker. Trying to work his way behind the net now. This is Woolington. Woolington trying to center it. Low slot. Can't. As this puck is long to half wall now. Half wall this puck is. One Husker's down. It's a 2v2 right now. We'll see who comes out with it. It's the Jayhawks that come away with it. Zadakis from the point. Zadakis shot off the post of Liam Scott. Liam going to be giving his post some thanks after that one. Zadakis now down the right wing side. The offensive defenseman for these Jayhawks from the dot. Tries to center it. Can't. Nebraska gets to it from the point now. Breyer. Breyer feeds it now. Shot on. Saved by Scott down to the boards. Breyer tries to get a shot on there. Blocked by Rothenberger as it was almost played with the high stick by Wilmington. He must not have got a stick on it, though. Pushed side there was a Jayhawk. That was Rosillo as he goes the other way. Shot by Nebraska. Goes well wide of the net. 5:26 to go in the final period to play. Okay, it was Paul Colinas with the goal. So, yeah, that is his first career collegiate goal for Paul Colinas. Nice job, young man. Puck in neutral ice now after Jayhawks clear that one. Along the blue line, this is Landis, and it's going to be an offside. Easy call there to go against KU. See that goal, folks, if I do my math correctly from everything, it looks like that Colinas goal was 5 seconds after the previous goal for KU, putting them up 9-2. Apologize there. Scoreboard was not updated. 9-2. Delayed penalty here against the Jayhawks. They touch up as they are in the box yet again. Not as bad as it was last night, of course, folks, for these Jayhawks finding their way in the box. But still an aspect of their game that needs to be worked on as it's Braxton Landis going to sit for a minor hooking assessed to Braxton Landis. His second minor of the night. The Jayhawks up 7 in this game with just under 5 minutes to go. Face-off to the right of Olsen, won by KU. Puck slowly moved its way through the crease of Ben Olsen. You can hear all the fans go with big reactions there as another penalty going to be assessed here against KU. As there was a big hit put on there by a Jayhawk as got all the young kids yelling, fight, fight, fight. Of course, I don't think either of these teams really is looking for a fight right now from the looks of things. Just a big hit that are put on by Hudson Huber. Intrigued to see what this call is going to be. Hit was put on Jake Quevedo. Quevedo was the one who was down. He's up now and skating fine. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for Nebraska. It's Huber sitting. Our referees are talking right now. They're going to decide what to give him. Okay, I see a cross check there, and Huber's unhappy. I think I saw a referee put up a 5, meaning a major has been assessed to Huber. We're going to wait for it to go on the board. It is a 5-minute major. to Hudson Huber. So that will effectively end his night with 4 minutes, 32 seconds to go in this game. As right now, Nate Fuller getting an explanation from our referee about something. I don't know what Fuller was looking for, but I mean, I'm guessing he got what he wanted. He got a major to the Jayhawks. So Jayhawks will be 5-on-3 for the next minute 50, and we'll be down a man, or at least have no more than 4 skaters on the ice for the rest of this game. Quevedo, cross ice now to Rothenberger. They can't connect. Rothenberger, though, gets it off the boards. Off a skate now. This goes, playing it down. It's the Jayhawks, and here comes KU. This is Rowan Vaughn. Vine for fourth. Dangles once, dangles twice. Shot by Vaughn. Off the glove of Liam Scott. And you can hear the fans here getting excited, because when you know that Rowan Vaughn has the puck on his stick, you know something special is about to happen. Quevedo along the near boards. He'll spin around, feed it down to Coe. Coe, cross ice. One-time shot there. Not enough on that one. Wrister shot there. Not enough either. That's saved and played to the right now of Ben Olsen. 3:40 to go in this game. In front of the net now. This puck's in the crease. Olsen tries to poke it out. He couldn't. Jayhawks are going to try to clear right here. They do. Big hit put on Rowan Vaughn. Vaughn tries to get around. He can't. Has one hand on his stick. He was going up against a few Huskers, so that goes about the way you would think. But with Rowan Vaughn, who knows? Jayhawks send this one down the length behind the net of Scott. 3:15 in the period. Coe feeds it up to Rothenberger. Rothenberger behind Clover. I don't know who he was intending to give that one to, but went right between Coe and Clover. Fighting off a hit there as the Jayhawks, as here they come. Far corner now. Hit there put on by Rothenberger against Zdeikis. Zdeikis has to get up. It's 5-on-2 right now for Nebraska. If they hurry, they'll actually go for a change. It was 4-on-2 for a second, but this puck finds its way behind the net now of Olsen. Clover up to Lazari. Lazari and Clover dance around. Clover now, one man on for the Jayhawks. It's 5-on-4. Shot there off the glass and into neutral ice. So out of the box there was Braxton Landis for the Jayhawks. So it's going to be 5-on-4 for the rest of the period, barring any more penalties against either side. Behind the net, looks to be Kim circling around. Hit there put on Kim, and it's going to be another penalty assessed to the Jayhawks. This, though, is going to be a slash against Harry Ives. I missed a call on the slasher. I thought they were going to call something on the hit, but it's going to be on the slash against Harry Ives. That must have happened behind the play because I completely missed that one. But just as I said, barring any penalties, well, the Jayhawks find another way to put themselves in the penalty box. So it's going to be 5-on-3 until we have 16 seconds to go in this game. Granted, Nebraska can't score, and Ives would come out of the box. Of course, Huber cannot come out of the box. The 5-minute major has to expire, but it's not going to expire before the game ends. Puck now up to Seibel. Seibel loses control for a second, regains it now. This is Quevedo. Quevedo, cross ice now. Shot behind the net and off to the side of the net of Olsen. Up top now. Back down to Quevedo. Quevedo, toe drag around. Can't get it behind the net. Or can't get it behind Ben Olsen. Off the skate now in front of the net. The Jayhawks will clear it down the length of the ice as it Knuckles finally settles for the stick of Liam Scott to go out and play it. Big hit there put on by the Jayhawks and George Bullard. And guess what? Yet another penalty against the Jayhawks. Liam Scott goes to his bench. 6-on-5. Or excuse me, 6-on-4 right now as the Jayhawks touch up, and another penalty assessed to the Jayhawks. This one going against George Bullard. It'll be 3 Jayhawks in the penalty box. Bullard not too happy with the call. It will be a boarding against George Bullard. Bullard expressing his frustrations with the call. But at this point, the Jayhawks have this wrapped up. I think they're just looking to get out of here without giving up any game misconducts or any potential suspension time or any injuries right now with all these penalties. Face-offs right of Olsen, won by Nebraska. Play at the point by Coe. Feeds it over to Clover off the boards. Clover will give it to, tries to find Beaster. Instead, he finds Lazari. Lazari pressured off. Lazari still with it on the backhand. Back to the forehand goes Lazari at the dot. Lazari tries to go cross ice to Clover. Can't. Low slot. Doorstep opportunity. Saved by Vetter. Up and into the netting. Well, the stoppage with 57 seconds to go into third. 38 shots on goal for KU. 28 for Nebraska. And, boy, it has been all KU this evening. Nebraska opened up the scoring first with a goal of their own, courtesy of Jawan Kim. And other than that, it's been a lot of KU this evening, as the scoreboard shows. 5-on-3 the Jayhawks are. I should say they're shorthanded 5-on-3. You know, Nebraska's looking for just any momentum going into their next series. Here is Adamski. Adamski at the half wall. 40 seconds to go. Through the crease, that puck goes, and it's now on the near boards. This is Rothenberger with it. Rothenberger shot, tries to go up high. Rebound opportunity goes off and into the far corner. Another shot there through the crease of Ben Olsen and wide. 25 seconds to go in this one. Rothenberger can't keep it in. Can Caleb Coe. So the Huskers have to retreat here. Harry Ives is out of the box. Now it's going to be 5-on-4 now. Or should be. Not letting him out, I guess. Still 5-on-3. Shot there. Deflected in front of the net of Olsen. Rebound opportunity for Rothenberger. And able to cover that one up is Olsen with 5 seconds to go in this game. 4.9 to be exact. So, folks, this will effectively do it for this game. Referee right now talking to the scorekeeper about something. I mean, 5 seconds to go. Figure it shouldn't matter too much, as we'll drop the puck, and that'll effectively wrap up this game. Face-off to left of Olsen, won by KU. They'll just be happy to sit with it in the corner, and that'll do it, folks. KU, for the first time in a month and a half, able to sweep an opponent of theirs on a Friday-Saturday game. A complete showing by the Jayhawks. Not as clean as they would have liked it to be, but a complete showing indeed, as the Jayhawks now move to 7-2-1 on the season, a number you know that they love to hear compared to how they started off the season last year. Well, folks, it was an offensive onslaught for the Jayhawks today. Might even be an understatement if, depending on who you are. But goals today coming from a power play, courtesy of Blake Kern. Looking around, we got Paul Colinas had his first career collegiate goal. Hats off to the young man. Who else scored today? Looking around my sheet. George Bullard, he had 2 goals of his own. Hudson Huber had a goal, and of course, Rowan Vaughn, the leading goal scorer for the Jayhawk team, now up to 17 goals of the year. He had himself a hat trick tonight. One of those goals coming on the power play. Well, Jayhawks looked good all around. Penalty kill, stellar, power play, efficient. Again, Jayhawks just got to find a way to keep themselves out of the box and just be a little more efficient with their tape-to-tape passing. As the Jayhawks salute their home crowd. They will be off next weekend, Halloween weekend. And let's be honest, I don't know how many ACHA teams are going to be playing next weekend, because you can't expect too much attendance from hockey players when it comes to Halloween weekend. But we will see you in 2 weekends from now. It will be Friday, November 7th. Boy, we're already moving through fall, folks. It will be November 7th. It will be Jayhawks hosting the other team out of Nebraska, University of Nebraska, Omaha, UNO, coming to town, coming into Overland Park. Of course, there will be an 8 p.m. puck drop that Friday, November 7th, and 4:15 p.m. Saturday, November 8th, as KU looks to build on a 2-game winning streak, their longest winning streak of the season this year. 3, they'll look to tie that in 2 weekends from now, and then, hey, maybe add yourself a 4-game winning streak and set a new mark for the season. Well, goals for Nebraska today, coming courtesy of Jawan Kim and Colby Butts. Kim's 3rd goal of the year. Butts second goal of the season. Well, it was a stellar night also for Ben Olsen as well. Saw 28 shots on goal, saved 26 of them. Jayhawks, meanwhile, put up 38 shots on goal. Liam Scott stayed in for the whole game for the Huskers. He saved 29 of the 38 shots he faced. Well, folks, it's been a ride so far this weekend. Man, KU putting up stomping against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 9-1 last night, 9-2 this afternoon as KU finishes their second weekend sweep of the season. We'll see you back 2 weekends from now again as KU will host UNO here from Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Well, I'm Ryan Cartman, and we'll be wishing you a very merry, happy Halloween weekend. KU takes this one 9-2.